All right. Hello and good day, everyone. Today we'll be working on a couple of LCDs, 7, 8, and 9th gen compatible LCDs. Store always seems to send me these for repairs. These guys usually have an issue where there's a wire that gets damaged on these and they lose image. It's a known fault from Apple, and like I said, it's just it's a wire that seems to be not long enough, where it's too tight, so it gets cut easy from bends. And this usually happens to mostly to iPads that are being used by kids. So anyway, let's get to it. So the main issue is here on this, I guess you can say, right corner, right bottom corner of the screen. Okay, let's see. What I do is put a little alcohol here, not too much, just to loosen up that glue that's there holding on to that. And get one of these flat tweezers type things, just slide that in there and remove the sticker. Oh, sorry, remove the sticker. After that, we remove the little shield that's covering the back of the other shield that protects the LCD. From that point on, we're gonna cut on this corner. Actually, now that I notice this, they sent me an aftermarket LCD. It's definitely not original. Let's see if do aftermarkets have the same issue. It's good to know. Let's find out. All right, so I'm gonna start cutting with this small little pen grinder. Pen grinder. Now I tend to get as close to here to where this black sticker is. Just protecting the frame here. And then right around here for the other side. I don't cut deep enough, just enough so that when I remove that shield, it'll go with the flow there. Here I cut deep enough to be able to slide this in here, lift it up a little, and from this point I used some pliers. And like I said, once you start pulling, it'll follow the direction of the cut. And just remove this overall. All right, let's see what we got here. So yeah, That's that's a cut right there. It's definitely been teared off. Sometimes from the cut you leave these sharp edges. I make sure I kind of like remove these or bend these out of the way so they don't cut the cable. All right. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines that got damaged. Let's see if we can fix that. Make a cut here and a cut here. This will be where I stop. Once I start peeling off. Now you don't want to come with your blade too deep, otherwise you'll damage the lines there, make things worse for you. It's like a sliding type of motion. Okay, so maybe there's one more line here that needs to be repaired. I'm not sure. All right, so that seems about right. I'm gonna try to get in here without flipping the LCD around. Takes a little patience because you don't want to damage any of the lines. Then you want to scrape these lines to get rid of that residue that's on top of them. Some kind of, I guess, a glue residue, I would say, because you're going to want to tin those wires with solder. You want to make sure the solder grabs onto that. Again, scrape lightly. You know, there's no real hard pressure that you need to put on that. Okay. Now you want to put a very small amount. Oh, so much for small amount. very small amount of flux in there, because you definitely don't want to get it all over the place, and then when it comes time to clean that off, it'll kind of seep down into the LCD down here, and then you'll have a LCD stain there, which can't really get rid of. Okay, let's see here. Just a little bit of flux solder. And just tin away. I didn't think aftermarket LCDs would have that particular problem, but seems like they also suffer from that. I mean, yeah, you want to copy the design from the original manufacturer, but you definitely don't want to copy the defects, and you want to make these better. But that's how it is. So I have a jumper wire. This is 0.10 millimeter jumper wire that I use. It's a little thick for some of these lines here, but that's alright. Now, from my previous repairs, it seems like I've already tinned that a little bit, so let's just cut the piece that we're gonna need. Oh, did that go flying? Let's see if I can find that. How far did it go? Still worse. Oh, there it is. Alright, so we want to join these wires together. And what I do is I first join, I'm guessing this must be power lines. Yeah, these are power lines. Once you have that, take a second tweezer and I start looping this thing around. Okay. All right, let's see here. Then we cut the excess off. And now we have perfect bridge. And we'll use the same piece here, which seems like we have enough. To do the smaller ones, Again, with a second tweezer, I make that loop. Making sure you don't touch the other line. This one sometimes can get tricky because the lines are so thin that, and the jumper is so short. Sometimes these loosen up on this side, so just be careful with it. Tap, tap, tap away. Don't put too much. Don't hold your iron there for too long. Otherwise, it'll transfer enough heat to this side or the other one. See? Just like I said, it moved. Even tap, tap, tapping sometimes will move it. Stay still. Oh, that made it worse. Need a little bit more flux here. Try to work these again. Okay. There it is. Yeah, patience. Very much patience. Then we clean this with 99% isopropyl. Like a tapping motion so you don't get your cotton stuck in anything that's has a sharp edge there. Well, these Q-tips are like medical grade, so cotton tends to be tight. All right, seems good enough. I'm gonna test it before I actually finish adding on the UV glue on this, because like I said, I don't recall this particular trick working on aftermarket screens, so gonna get a test iPad that I always have laying around here. Okay, so I do have the battery charging signal there. I don't know if you guys can see that. There, you probably can see it now. And just gonna wait till the battery charges, because even though sometimes we have the battery signal, we don't know what kind of damage or other damage this might have. There's been a couple of times where I see a line going across or water damage inside, so I want to make sure I get to a point where I can clearly see that the screen is perfectly in good condition. And yep, there it is. Good condition. No issues. No damages. Yeah, perfect. All right. One down. And about, I want to say 4 more to go. Oh, this is where I put the UV mask. Just, you know, give it a little more strength to the cut, to the wire itself. Let's see, where's my UV glove? Okay. Just try to cover all the exposed copper lines, you know. Just prevention. Just never know. Okay. Sorry. This light is pretty bright, but you guys get the idea. I think that should be about it. Let's see. Yeah, nice and hard. Good. Now, another thing I do is I actually cut and remove these two screw brackets here. Now, before I never used to remove them, and these things used to come back very often. I removed this one and the one on the top, this guy. And I don't put screws, or I tell them not to put screws there, because the reason this wire breaks is there is all throughout here, throughout this whole section here, going all the way to the top. This wire is short, and I believe it's also being held by some type of glue, like a little clear double-sided tape type of glue, like the one you saw. I think it was there at the beginning of the video, and it gives tension and they come back all the time. So I just removed these guys, and ever since removing these two top and bottom screw holders, I've never had a return ever again when it comes to this particular issue. So yeah, I mean, my advice would be to do that, but you know, clearly up to you guys. See how it works with you. But for me, like I said, these guys always came back ripped up again, and once I started realizing what could have been causing the issue, I removed those two screw holders, and everything seems to be working after that. So I'm gonna go to the top one, like I said, and I removed this guy. Okay. And you'll notice that I also not just removed that little plate, but I also actually cut away this section here. So no screws are being put there. Just like that. Same with this guy. I come here and just cut it, just so the technicians don't make a mistake of trying to put a screw there and having it come back again. All right. So the other thing I do here is I just cover everything with electrical tape. You could use the heat resistant tape or anything that you think that you would like to use if you don't have electrical tape. The reason I use electrical tape is because it kind of blends in, and it doesn't really get noticed that something is there. So just my own personal preference, and just so that you guys can see that everything still works after those two screw holders get cut, we'll test it one more time. Now I know for a fact that it's working, but just want to show you guys that removing those screws is not, removing those holders, cutting away those holders actually, it's not something that's gonna damage the LCD in anywhere. Just don't cut too deep, or don't put too much pressure when doing so, otherwise you'll definitely damage the LCD. Okay. This thing just died on me again. Doesn't hold charge, this thing. But yeah, the Apple logo, listen to me. The battery logo it's there, and we'll just wait a little while for the iPad to turn back on. Let me drink some water. All right, so it's booting back up. And there you go. Everything is still intact. Everything works. Not that the digitizer is what makes it work, but just showing you guys. Okay. All right. And I guess from this point on, it's actually just the same thing over and over. So, guys want to stick around and continue watching the boring stuff of just doing the same thing over and over, then by all means, enjoy the show. So again, just a little bit, just to get that moist. That's what she said. Anyway, I will remove this. See, this is the little paper I was talking about. This is like some type of glue, type of adhesive that runs through this whole entire thing, which holds that cable so it doesn't move as much. Again, remove those sharp edges there. This thing sometimes annoys me. And this looks like it's gonna be an easy one. It's just the two main power rails. Sometimes I get the difficult ones where whole entire lines are broken all the way down to here. I really don't like fixing those because, you know, at that point you might as well just say forget about it, but it is possible. I've done it before. I just don't trust the strength of the cable itself afterwards, but it can be done. My razor? Okay. Again, we're going to scrape away that glue. so that when we tin those wires, we'll be able to get those jumpers to sit correctly. Now, I know it's gonna work regardless. So let me just put everything that I need to do. Okay. Just put a little electrical tape in here. All right. Let's test to see everything's working. Oh, I'm not getting anything. Oh, there it is. Okay. Things working. Good. Next one. On to the next. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see that you guys were not watching. Okay. Oh, that's a big one. So you see, sometimes we get those that do travel. This one definitely traveled. Came all the way down here. Okay. It is what it is, right? Let's get to working. Yep. There you go. Good. All right. All right. Guess this is the last one. Hopefully I'll get an easy one. Make this quick. Oh, easy one. Nice. Have to make this video so long. I mean, it's already long as it is. Okay, just the power. Just the power lines. All right. Let's test this last one and see how everything came out. I hear it. I hear it. There it is. Good. Okay. And I guess that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you stayed this long, again, I'm sorry I'm not entertaining enough. But as long as you learn something and helps you in your shop make a little extra money, then I'm very happy. Catch you guys on the next video and enjoy your day.